Hi, everyone. So Mars is moving into Virgo. And when Mars is in Virgo, we can tend to be a bit critical, usually of ourselves. So if you find yourself over the next several weeks being very critical about yourself, especially when it comes to your own personal identity or even your body, then it's more important to concentrate on what you can do about it. So if you feel like you want to join a gym, or if you want to book a doctor's appointment, or whatever that is for you, this is a perfect time to focus on how to address some of the concerns that we have rather than just focusing on the concerns. So I would expect this reading that I'm going to do, my intention is for this to cover the next several weeks, but I do have a feeling that there's going to be an element of self-care that comes out. So I'm going to start by rolling a zodiac sign and an astro house. And this is not because this is your sign, but I just like an idea of the energies that we're meant to be working with. So we have Taurus and we have the seventh house. So right now, Venus is in Taurus, and that is a very romantic type of feeling that is coming from Venus. So that could be something that's coming through here in this energy. The seventh house is a house of balance. It's a house of partnerships. So what I'm really getting strongly from this is that this could be a romantic reading because we have Venus in Taurus and the seventh house, or at a minimum, people that we love and are working with or cooperating with. So I don't know where this Mars in Virgo energy is going to take us necessarily, that maybe there's something criticizing going on within a love relationship. But I'd like to draw a chakra card just to see what comes out of the energy first, and then see what other energies we could potentially be working with. So, wow. Okay. So there's more of that confirmation for us that this could end up being a love reading for us because we have the heart chakra with love coming in. And we did just mention this romantic feeling of Taurus, and the seventh house is about love relationships, or at least partnerships. So this will be interesting to see how Mars in Virgo is going to play out in this love reading, or what looks to be a love reading. But maybe there is a partner that you're dealing with that is highly critical, or there's some criticism going on somehow within the dynamic. But let's see what the tarot wants to tell us. So we have the Lovers, which I'm going to flip over just to make sure we're meeting the YouTube guidelines. But there you go. There's more and more confirmation of what kind of a reading this will be. There's the Two of Wands, the Four of Wands, the Four of Swords. Underneath, the Five of Wands, Ace of Swords, Knight of Cups. There's the Star, which I'm also going to flip over. And then there's the Five of Cups. Wow. So yes, whatever this partnership is, whatever this relationship is for you, it does feel like there's a lot going on. And that may be why this Mars in Virgo might be pulling out of each other, more of the critical aspects of each other. But let's see as we go. Hiding underneath everything, we have the Nine of Wands. So I just think with the Nine of Wands, it's telling me to trust yourself more than maybe you are. That perhaps you've hung in a situation longer than you need to because you're not trusting yourself enough. So let's see how that plays into the reading as a whole, but that's what I have so far. So with the Love and the Five of Wands showing up here together, this is giving me an impression that there is some kind of a combative love relationship in your life. There's something going on in your love life that's really causing you a lot of strife. And maybe at one time it was a beautiful relationship that you felt like the relationship was kind and had more grace. But now with the Nine of Wands and the Five of Wands, it's feeling like there's some heat that's being generated between the two of you, and maybe combative things going on between the two of you that maybe you feel like perhaps came out of nowhere. You're not really sure where that came from. So let me fix this. This looks crooked to me. There, is that better? Um, so there, it does feel like you were kind of blindsided by this situation where it was so lovely and then it kind of went sour or went south and you're not really sure why. So you're being asked to focus with the Lover's card and the Ace of Swords. You're being asked to really focus on this relationship and to see it clearly. You could be dealing with a shapeshifter kind of a person, is what I'm really getting from this, because they may be charming and graceful and kind-hearted one moment, but then the next moment they might flip on you and become more combative or more paranoid or whatever it is that they do that leaves you feeling very confused. And so the Ace of Swords is really telling me that there's definitely something out of balance here, and there's a need to look at it more closely to be able to correct it. You have to see it correctly. So the challenge, though, is going to be that it feels like with this Two of Wands that you really don't want to change direction with this person. And again, we're getting this Knight of Cups, which is, again, is more confirmation to me that this is a romantic reading. But it feels like with the Two of Wands being your challenge that you do not want to change the course of this relationship, that you do not want to change the direction of it. So even though you might be starting to think that something's wrong, there's something negative about this, the cards are asking you to change your mind or have a change of direction, a change of plans when it comes to this person who's showing up as a Knight of Cups, because it does feel like with all of these wands that are imbalanced wands, that it feels like this person might have a tendency to sabotage the relationship. They might try to work on it, but then they go back to sabotaging it again, and then they go to work on it, and then they go to sabotaging it again. It feels like this very unbalanced type of energy that's coming from this person. The message that's really coming through here, though, is your own stability, your own healing. And that is how we started this reading, that I thought there would be an element of self-care that comes through with Mars being in Virgo. And so I do think with this Four of Wands, this is really just a message for you to sort of, what I'm getting is to avoid this conflict, because the balance is the Four of Wands, and that Four of Wands comes within you. And we drew the Star card here too. And that Star card is telling us that this healing has to start with you. That whatever the problems are in this relationship, or whatever, however your person is unhealed, that conflict is outside of you. And that beginning to balance this energy and beginning to balance your own energy and your own self-care starts with you, and really ignoring this conflict I keep getting from that, because it feels like this is a really good time for you to pull away from this, that there's almost like this storm going on here with this Nine of Wands and the Five of Wands. It's very tumultuous all around you, but yet you're showing up in this Star energy, which means you are healing during all of this, that maybe this chaos was meant to teach you something. Maybe this chaos was meant to have you grow and heal your own wounds. And I'm getting that very clearly with this Star card. So what started, what I thought was going to be a love relationship, ended up being more along the lines of what Mars in Virgo is telling me, that this is about yourself. This is about your self-care. This is about you moving your life forward, because this person is so unhealed that they're causing a lot of trouble and chaos in your life. But that was necessary in order to teach you whatever it is you were meant to teach you, or the wounds that you were meant to heal, which is very clear you're doing. The Four of Swords is very much a card of healing, that you're taking this time with your grief, that whatever grief this person caused you, or perhaps the disappointment that this person caused you, because you may have thought one thing with this Love card in the beginning. You may have thought something about this person that just never ended up being the truth of this situation. And you may have just a lot of disappointment when it comes to that. But the Four of Swords is telling me that you faced these problems with your own confidence, your own courage, which it looks like you're going to do over these next several weeks. You could be putting a final end to this situation because you're really just betting on yourself and your own milestones, your own stability, and your own healing. And so I do think that if this relationship is coming to an end, which is what it really feels like here, that this could be a person that you gave a bunch of different second chances to, but it's what you needed to grow and transform and transcend, and to understand with the Four of Swords and the Five of Cups that what's done is done. This relationship, it could be done. It looks like it might be, but yet it was meant to teach you something and heal your own wounds. So I think that's what this time in Mars in Virgo is going to teach you over these next several weeks. But let's get a few tarot cards just to see if we can get some more energies. So the Priestess just wanted to pop out. This is about your own self-knowledge. This is about being illuminated about what's going on here. This is about getting that clarity. We were saying that you're not seeing this person clearly. You might be seeing this person as your love, as your partner, as your happiness, the person that you thought was going to be that one for you. But the way that they're showing up is a Nine of Wands and a Five of Wands. So this is really just asking you to get clear. And that High Priestess is saying that too. And I just saw 1111 as I said that. Okay, so the Lovers and the Ace of Swords is clarified by the Emperor. The Emperor is a card of wisdom. It's a card of passion. It's a card of discipline. This is saying be wise about this person. Figure out the truth of this person because you're not seeing it clearly. The Two of Wands and the Knight of Cups is clarified by the Sun. That's that illumination we were just talking about. Get clear about getting a change of plans when it comes to this person, because once you see this person clearly, it will be very clear to you to move in a different direction. The Four of Wands and the Star are clarified by the Queen of Cups, which I'm going to flip over. But the Queen of Cups is all about that authenticity, that inner knowing, your intuition, your psychic abilities. And those are all ways, all of these, the Emperor, the Sun, and the Queen of Cups are all giving a very similar message, that it's imperative that you tap into your inner knowing to get the full picture of this person that you're dealing with. And then the Four of Swords and the Five of Cups is clarified by the Four of Wands. So this ties back to your own stability. This is being on your own, but being prosperous and harmonious, but on your own. You're getting that stability. There's a four, there's a four, and there's a four. You're getting that stability from yourself. And that's that self-love we were talking about. That's that Mars in Virgo energy that you really can capitalize on right now, so that you can see this clearly, so you can rely on yourself and bet on yourself. So that is your Mars in Virgo reading. Will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.